Welcome to Echo from the stable of Catholic Television of Nigeria, a program that inspires you, tell you stories from people's experiences where you can learn from and also emulate in real life. We talk real life story here, we interview, we feature great personalities and all that. It's your most educative, entertaining, and enlightening program on air right now. And today we are featuring a young lady called Stephanie Ochanaya. She's been inspired by the divine, if we must say, to recite Psalm 119 from verse 1 to 176, the longest psalm in the Bible, from the beginning to the end. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Stephanie Ochanaya.
Verse 1, blessed are the undefiled in the way who walk in the law of the Lord. Verse 2, blessed are they that keep his testimonies and that seek him with the whole heart. Verse 3, they also do no iniquity, they walk in his ways. Verse 4, thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently. Verse 5, oh, that my ways are directed to keep thy statutes. Verse 6, then shall I not be ashamed when I have respect unto all thy commandments. Verse 7, I will praise thee with uprightness of heart when I shall have learned thy righteous judgments. Verse 8, I will keep thy statutes, O forsake me not utterly. Verse 9, wherewith shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. Verse 10, with my whole heart have I sought thee. Oh, let me not wander from thy commandments. Verse 11, thy word have I hidden in my heart, that I might not sin against thee. Verse 12, blessed art thou, O Lord, teach me thy statutes. Verse 13, with my lips have I declared all thy judgments of thy mouth. Verse 14, I have rejoiced in the way of thy testimonies, as much as in all riches. Verse 15, I will meditate in thy precepts, and have respect unto thy ways. Verse 16, I will delight myself in thy statutes, I will not forget thy word. Verse 17, deal bountifully with thy servants, that I may live and keep thy word. Verse 18, open thy mine eyes, that I may behold wondrous things out of thy law. Verse 19, I am a stranger in the earth, hide not thy commandments from me. Verse 20, my soul breaketh for the longing, that is heart unto thy judgments at all times. Verse 21, thou hast rebuked the proud, that are cursed with the earth from thy commandments. Verse 22, remove from me reproach and contempt, for I have kept thy testimonies. Verse 23, praises also did sit and speak against me, but I serve and did meditate in thy statutes. Verse 24, thy testimonies also are my delight and my counselors. Verse 25, my soul cleaveth unto the dust, quicken thou me according to thy words. Verse 26, I have declared my ways, and thou heardest me, teach me thy statutes. Verse 27, make me to understand the way of thy precepts, so shall I talk of thy wondrous work. Verse 28, my soul melted for heaviness, strengthen thou me according to thy word. Verse 29, remove from me the way of lying, and grant me the law graciously. Verse 30, I have chosen the way of truth, thy judgments have I laid before me. Verse 31, I have stuck unto thy testimonies. O Lord, put me not to shame. Verse 32, I will run the way of thy commandments, when thou shalt enlarge my heart. Verse 33, teach me, O Lord, the way of thy statutes, and I shall keep it unto the end. Verse 34, give me understanding, and I shall keep thy law. Yea, I shall observe it with my whole heart. Verse 35, make me to go in the path of thy commandments, for therein do I delight. Verse 36, incline my heart unto thy testimonies, and not to thy covetousness. Verse 37, turn away my eyes from beholding vanity, quicken thou me in thy ways. Verse 38, establish thy word unto thy servant, who is devoted to thy fear. Verse 39, turn away my reproach, which I fear, for thy judgments are good. Verse 40, behold, I have longed after thy precepts, quicken me in thy righteousness. Verse 41, let thy tender mercies come also unto me, that I may live, for thy law is my delight. Verse 42, so shall I have wherewith to answer in that reproacheth me, for I trust in thy word. Verse 43, and take not the word of truth utterly out of my mouth, for I have hope in thy judgments. Verse 44, so shall I keep thy law continually forever and ever. Verse 45, and thou walk at liberty, for I seek thy precepts. Verse 46, I will speak of thy testimonies also before kings, I will not be ashamed. Verse 47, and I will delight myself in thy commandments, which I have loved. Verse 48, my hands also I lift up unto thy commandments, which I have loved, and now meditate in thy statutes. Verse 49, remember thy word unto thy servants, upon which thou hast caused me to hope. Verse 50, this is my comfort in my affliction, for thy word has quickened me. Verse 51, The proud have had me great in generation, yet have I not declined from thy law. Verse 52. I remember thy judgments of old, O Lord, and have comforted myself. Verse 53. Horror has taken hold on me because of the wicked that forsake thy law. Verse 54. Thy statutes have been my songs in the house of my pilgrimage. Verse 55. I have remembered thy name, O Lord, in the night, and have kept thy law. Verse 56. This I had because I kept thy precepts. Verse 57. Thou art my portion, O Lord. I assure that I will keep thy words. Verse 58. I entreated thy favor with my whole heart. Be merciful unto me according to thy words. Verse 59. I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies. Verse 60. I made haste and delay not to keep thy commandments. Verse 61. The bounds of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forgotten thy law. Verse 62. At midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgments. Verse 63. I am a companion of all them that fear thee, and of them that keep thy precepts. Verse 64. The earth, O Lord, is full of thy mercy. Teach me thy statutes. Verse 65. Thou hast dealt well with thy servants, according unto thy word. Verse 66. Teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I have believed in thy commandments. Verse 67. Before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now have I kept thy word. Verse 68. Thou art good and doest good. Teach me thy statutes. Verse 69. The proud have forged a lie against me, but I will keep thy precepts with my whole heart. Verse 70, their heart is as fat as grease, but I delight in thy law. Verse 71, it is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. Verse 72, thy law of thy mouth is better unto me than thousands of gold and silver. Verse 73, thy hands have made me and fashioned me. Give me understanding that I may know thy commandments. Verse 74, they that fear thee will be glad when they see me, for I have hope in thy word. Verse 75, I know, O Lord, that thy judgments are right, and that thou in faithfulness hast afflicted me. Verse 76, let I pray thee, thy merciful kind may be for my comfort, according to thy word unto thy servants. Verse 77, let thy tender mercies come unto me, that I may live, for thy law is my delight. Verse 78, let the proud be ashamed, for they have dared previously with me without a cause, but my heart standeth in awe of thy word. Verse 79, let those that fear thee turn unto me, and those that have known thy testimonies. Verse 80, let my heart be sound in thy statutes, that I be not ashamed. Verse 81. My soul fainted for thy salvation, but I hope in thy word. Verse 82. My eyes wait for thy word, saying, when will thou comfort me? Verse 83. For I have become like a bottle in the smoke, yet do I not forget thy statutes. Verse 84. How many are the days of thy servants, saying, when will thou execute judgment on them that persecute me? Verse 85. The proud have digged pits from which are not after thy law. Verse 86. All thy commandments are faithful. They persecute me wrongfully. Help thou me. Verse 87. They had almost consumed me upon the earth, but I forsook not thy precepts. Verse 88. Quicken me after thy loving kindness, so shall I keep thy testimonies of thy mouth. Verse 89. Forever, O Lord, thy word is settled in heaven. Verse 90. Thy faithfulness is unto all generations. Thou hast established the earth and it abideth. Verse 91. They continue this day according to thy ordinances, for all are thy servants. Verse 92. Unless thy law had been my delight, I should then have perished in my affliction. Verse 93. I will never forget thy precepts, for with them thou hast quickened me. Verse 94. I am dying. Save me, for I have sought thy precepts. Verse 95. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I will consider thy testimonies. Verse 96. I have seen an end of all perfection, but thy commandment is exceeding broad. Verse 97. Oh, how love are thy law, my meditation all the day. Verse 98. Thou through thy commandments have made me wiser than my enemies, for they are ever with me. Verse 99. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies have been my meditations. Verse 100. I understand more than the ancient, because I keep thy precepts. Verse 101. I have refrained my speech from every evil way, that I might keep thy word. Verse 102. I have not departed from thy judgments, for thou hast taught me. Verse 103. How sweet are thy words unto my taste, yea, sweeter than honey to my mouth. Verse 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding, for I hate every false way. Verse 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Verse 106. I have sworn and I will perform it, that I will keep thy righteous judgments. Verse 107. I am afflicted very much. Quicken me, O Lord, according to thy word. Verse 108. I said, I beseech thee, the free offerings of my mouth. O Lord, teach me thy judgments. Verse 109. My soul is continually in my hand, yet do I not forget thy law. Verse 110. The wicked have laid a snare for me, yet I err not from thy precepts. Verse 111. Thy testimony have I taken as a heritage forever, for they have been the rejoicing of my heart. Verse 112. I have inclined my heart to perform thy statute. always, even unto the end. Verse 113. I hate vain thoughts, but thy Lord do I love. Verse 114. Thou art my hiding place and my shield. I hope in thy word. Verse 115. Depart from me, evildoer, for I will keep thy commandments of my God. Verse 116. Uphold me according unto thy word, that I may live, and let me not be ashamed of my hope. Verse 117. Hold down me up, and I shall be safe, and have respect unto thy statutes continually. Verse 118. Thou hast trodden down all them that err from thy statutes, for their deceit is falsehood. Verse 119. Thou puttest away all the wicked of the earth like dross. Therefore, I love thy testimonies. Verse 120. My flesh trembleth for fear of thee, and I am afraid of thy judgments. Verse 121. I have done judgment and justice. Leave me not to my oppressors. Verse 122. Be surety for thy servants for good. Let not the proud oppress me. Verse 123. My eyes wait for thy word and the word of thy righteousness. Verse 124. Deal with thy servant according unto thy mercy, and teach me thy statutes. Verse 125. I am thy servant. Give me understanding that I may know thy testimonies. Verse 126. It is time for the Lord to work, for they have made void thy law. Verse 127. Therefore I love thy commandments above gold, yea, above every fine gold. Verse 128. Therefore I esteem all thy precepts concerning all things to be right, for I hate every false way. Verse 129. Thy testimonies are wonderful, therefore does my soul keep them. Verse 130. The entrance of thy word giveth light, giveth understanding unto the simple. Verse 131. I opened my mouth and panted, for I long for thy commandments. Verse 132. Look thou upon me and be merciful unto me, as thou usest to do upon those that love thy name. Verse 133. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. Verse 134. Deliver me from the oppression of man, so will I keep thy precepts. Verse 135. Make thy face to shine upon thy servants, and teach me thy statutes. Verse 136. Rivers of water run down my eyes, because they keep not thy words. Verse 136. Righteousness are thou, O Lord, and upright are thy judgments. Verse 138. Thy zeal has consumed me, because my aims have forgotten thy word. Verse 139. Thy testimonies are wonderful, therefore does my soul keep them. Verse 140. Thy word is very pure, therefore thy servant loveth it. Verse 141. I am small and despised, yet do I not forget thy statutes. Verse 142. Righteousness are thou, O Lord, and upright are thy judgments. Verse 143. Trouble and anguish have taken hold on me, yet thy commandments have been my delight. Verse 144. The righteousness of thy testimony is everlasting. Give me understanding, and I shall live. Verse 145. I cry with my whole heart. Hear me, O Lord, I will keep thy statutes. Verse 146. I cried unto thee, save me, and I shall keep thy testimonies. Verse 147. I prevented the dawning of the morning and cried, I hope in thy word. Verse 148. My eye prevented the night watches, as I may meditate in thy word. Verse 149. Hear my voice according unto thy loving kindness. Quicken me, O Lord, according to thy judgments. Verse 150. They draw nigh that follow after mischief. They are far from thy law. Verse 151. Thou art near, O Lord, and all thy commandments are truth. Verse 152. Concerning thy testimonies, I have known of old that thou hast founded them forever. Verse 153. Consider my affliction and deliver me, for I do not forget thy law. Verse 154. Plead my cause and deliver me. Quicken me according to thy word. Verse 155. Salvation is far from the wicked, for they seek not thy statutes. Verse 156. Great are thy tender mercies, O Lord. Quicken me according to thy judgments. Verse 157. Many are my persecutors and my enemies, yet do I not decline from thy testimonies. Verse 158. I beheld the transgressors and was grieved, because they kept not thy word. Verse 159. Consider how I love thy precepts. Quicken me, O Lord, according to thy loving kindness. Verse 160. Thy word is true from the beginning, and every one of thy righteous judgments endureth forever. Verse 161. Princes have persecuted me without a cause, but my heart standeth in awe of thy word. Verse 162. I rejoice at thy word as one that findeth great spoil. Verse 163. I hate and abhor lying, but thy Lord do I love. Verse 164. 7 times a day do I praise thee, because of thy righteous judgments. Verse 165. Great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. Verse 166. Lord, I have hoped for thy salvation and done thy commandments. Verse 167. My soul hath kept thy testimonies, and I love them exceedingly. Verse 168. I have kept thy precepts and thy testimonies, for all my ways are before thee. Verse 169. Let my cry come near before thee, O Lord. Give me understanding according to thy word. Verse 170. Let my supplication come near before thee. Deliver me according to thy word. Verse 171. My lips shall utter praise when thou hast taught me thy statutes. Verse 172. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteous. Verse 173. Let thy hands help me, for I have chosen thy precepts. Verse 174. I have longed for thy salvation, O Lord, and thy law is my delight. Verse 175. Let thy hands help me, for I have chosen thy precepts. Verse 176. I have gone astray like a lost sheep. Seek thy servants, for I do not forget thy commandments.
This is Echoes from the Church.
Today we are presenting a young star, an amazing young star who has done something so amazing that other kids may learn and parents will also learn from this. My guest today is Uja Stephanie Ochanaya. Young star, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right, Ochanaya, before we present why you're here, I need you to tell us a bit about yourself. Are you in school and all that? Okay, all right, so let's hear you. Introduce yourself properly to us now.
My name is Uja Stephanie Ochanaya. I am in JS2. I am 12 years old. I finished from Holy Family Sisters Academy. Now I'm in secondary school, in junior secondary school, Karu, Abuja.
Oh, that's great. Amazing. That means you're a Catholic?
Yes.
Are your parents Catholic too?
Yes.
Oh. All right. You just recited Psalm 119 from the beginning to the end. That is so amazing.
Yes.
Please, how did you come about this?
This idea came nearly 2 years ago when we had a children program, and the theme of the program was to make a difference. So they taught us some keys to it. I prayed about it. When I went home, in the dream of the night, I had a revelation where God told me to recite this Bible verse, Psalm 119, from verse 1 to 176. So the next day, I told my mom to get me a Bible, which she did. Then I began to memorize and recite it. So when I learned it all, I told my mom, she came back from school that day, and I told her to sit down. I gave her the Bible, I opened it to the chapter, then I began to recite the verse. That's how I came about it.
Wow, and you recited from the beginning to the end?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, that is so interesting. Such an inspiring story. I want to ask if you belong to any society or study group in your church.
No, I don't belong to anyone, but I do attend children class.
Okay, so it's a special class for children.
Yes.
What do you do there?
We learn about the Word of God. They enlighten us in the path we should follow, teach us good things, counsel us, and do every other thing.
Okay, how long have you been in that class?
It has a process.
Okay.
From 4 years to 5, 8 years to 10, and 11 above.
Okay, so the point I want to establish with this is that you are a church girl, as the case may be. You were born a Catholic?
Yes, my father is a Catholic.
Okay, and you find yourself in church like almost every other time. So where would you say you spend most of your time? Is he at home? Is he playing? Is he in church? Is he in school?
I usually spend time at home. Anytime is like on Wednesdays, Sundays, I go to church, and on Monday to Friday, I'm in school.
Okay, Monday to Friday you're in school. By doing this, what do you intend to achieve?
I intend to achieve my potential inside me, like great things. I watch many things. I see children do marvelous things. So I intend to achieve my career. I'm looking at myself to be a doctor, a role model.
Okay, a doctor and a role model. Are you working towards that in any way now?
Yes, I'm working towards that by studying my book, reading, praying, and fasting.
Okay. This Bible recitation that you've been able to recite, how are you going to use it?
I'm able to use it through spiritually and physical. Like any temptation now, you can just get one verse from the scripture, like Psalm 119 verse 133. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me.
Wow. Oh my God, this is amazing. So that's all you do when you're faced with probably something you do not understand and all that. You say that as a prayer. Wow, that's interesting to me. And I was going to ask you to say, have you even put it to use practically in your life aside reciting it?
Yes.
But this one you said now has answered it. Give us other examples of how you will use the different verses of this Psalm 119.
Okay. I use it to pray. I can also use it to preach. I can also use it inside me.
Okay.
And other.
Okay. Have you ever been faced with a situation where suddenly a verse came to your mind from this Psalm 119?
Yes.
Okay. You remember one? Okay. Anyone? Didn't come to mind immediately. Okay. Let's leave it. While we are going on, one might come in. Okay. How about relating with others? Students in school,
Yes.
family at home. Let's start with students in school.
Here, students in school, sometimes when break time like this, we'll gather in one side, preach to ourselves. Some people do come through fellowship and other things that is applied to Christian in school.
Okay, that means you are in the Christian fellowship in school.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's great. All right. How long did it take you to learn this entire package?
It took me like, let me say, 8 months.
Okay. So
Because there were temptations like that the thing did not do me as if I would learn, but I pushed through it and I achieved what I want.
okay, that's great. Let's be a bit explicit here. Day one, you started day one. You
Yes.
just how did you?
I started with 5 verses.
Okay.
Anytime I get back from school, I will learn the 5 verses. The next day I will rehearse the other one, learn the new one till I finished it, master it and everything.
5 verses at a time.
Yes.
And when you get used to that one, you drop it, you move to another one, and then add them together again.
Yes.
Wow. So I think this is a story of serious commitment. You were committed to it. Was there any point that you were thinking, oh, will I even get this thing all together? Your mission from the beginning was to read from the beginning to the end,
Yes.
or it was later you now thought that you could finish from the beginning to the end?
It was from the beginning to the end.
That was your mission.
Yes.
From the beginning. That was what was told you in the dream.
Yes.
Okay, but the time that you were going to use to get used to all of it was not told you. It was you now who was working it out.
Yes.
Okay, so but why did you get up to 8 months?
Because due to some things like children programs, school activities, and other
Okay.
works.
Okay, so how much time did you dedicate to this? Was it a weekly thing, a daily thing, or you set out like 2 or 3 days a week? The
Yes.
procedure you use, how were you learning?
I was learning when I'm free. I learned 5 verses. On Saturdays, I learned 5 verses. On Sundays, I learned 5 verses. Like I kept on pushing till I achieve this mission.
To what extent have these learning by heart impacted your own religious life?
It has impacted me in various ways, like I said. It's made me practicalize it in any situation I find myself.
Yeah. Okay. Religiously, has it kind of add anything to your faith? From what you said now, you are a church girl born in a Christian home and all that. These Bible verses that you have learned by heart, particularly, did it add anything to your faith and increase the faith in any way, or make you look at Christianity or your religion in any
It's
way?
increased.
Okay.
It increased my prayer life, my faith, the motion, and also practicalized in my family.
Okay, that is good. Do you think it's a positive thing that you learn this thing? Is it positive?
Yes, it's positive.
Okay. Can you explain a bit on that? How do you think it's positive? Something positive that you have learned?
Okay, because as I learned it now, I spread the gospel. I'm preaching the word to people, and as they're learning, as they're hearing me, they are learning from inside. That's what
Okay. Do you have time for Do you have a phone, an Android phone, for example? Do you have a phone? You don't have Android phone? Do you have access to laptop, computer, any point?
I do use my parents' own.
Okay.
Babies.
Why don't you have a phone?
Because it's not my time yet, and I want access to.
Wow. At 12, it's not your time yet. When will it be your time?
When I'm in SS2.
When you are in SS2. Right now you are in JSS?
2.
Wow. You know why I'm laughing at this? She's 12. She doesn't have an Android phone. These are big kids at 4 and 5. And they're already used to Android. Some we have iPad and then all that. Okay, but quickly, do you miss any of those things, like you want to get on Facebook, you want to get on YouTube, any of these social things, you want to get on TikTok and all that and all that? Do they do those things around you, and do you miss, like, you would like to be part of all those?
No, because Facebook is meant for people that need to socialize with them. It can be an addiction and all sorts of immoral things. So if I want to get some points now on knowledge, I can ask my mom or dad for their phone.
Are you serious? All right. Okay. But you know the uses of Facebook.
Yes.
Are there other things you know that you can get from Facebook?
You can get good things and bad things, because anything that have advantage also have a disadvantage.
Okay. Do you also know that this Bible we are talking about is also electronic? Electronic means you can have it on your phone and then you can have the hard copy. Which one were you using to learn, the hard copy or from your mother's laptop?
The hard copy.
You were using the hard copy. Wow, interesting. Which one made it easier for you? Which translation did you use?
King James Version.
Okay, the old or the new? Or the reverse?
The old.
Okay. Thou art?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's great. All right. He's been with so inspiring with Uja, Stephanie Ochanaya so far. There you have it. Ochanaya, thank you very much for coming on the show, and we pray that God will bless your talent, continue to increase you, that these skills will take you places. For the Bible says that a man's gift maketh way for him, since or her. Since you have taken your time to be with God, God will not disappoint you, and your life will be in the hands of God and safe. We pray this through Christ our Lord. Amen. All right. Thank you, viewers. We'll go on a break now, and we'll be right back. When we come back, we'll bring Ochanaya's mother to join us.
Enlightening, explosive, educative, entertaining, engaging, enriching, extraordinary, expressive, expansive, exalting, and electrified.
This is Echoes from the Church. Welcome back to Echoes from the stable of Catholic television. Exciting, educative, entertaining program on air right now. And before we went on the break, I said to you I was going to bring in her mother. Let's also hear from her parents side of the story on how this young lady got there. And you know, I always keep my promise, and her mother is right here with us. All right. Ochanaya's mother, you're welcome. You. Please, let us meet you like properly. Okay.
Welcome.
All right, so do us a bit of introduction.
My name is Rosalind Uja, Ochanaya's mom. We are here today on the Catholic television for reciting Psalm 119 from verse 1 to the end. And it's a longer chapter in the Bible. They had a children program where she was 9 years old. And the thing of that program was to make a difference in their generation. After the program, she came back home and told me, Mommy, this is what they taught us in the program. It was wonderful. It was this. What can I do to make a difference in my own generation? I said, I don't know, but God will direct you. And the next day, she told me that she had a dream where God told her to recite Psalm 119. She was, I said to. So she asked me to give her a Bible. I told her we had a Bible at home, but I don't know the purpose of that Bible, which I bought the Bible. That particular, I don't even have enough money. I always say, sister, I use the other Bible. What you want to read, you can study the Bible. He said, no, I should get her a new Bible, which I did. I went to a bookshop, I bought a Bible, Good News Version. I came back, she said that she wanted a King James Version, which I gave her the Bible. Knowing it to me, I don't know that she was reciting Psalm 119. One day I came back from work. I also work in the Catholic school. So I came back from work and said, Mommy, sit down, which I sat down. She opened the Psalm 119 and kept it in my front. That if there is any, whatever I want to read, if there is any error, I should correct her. I opened the Bible, started reciting from verse 1. I thought maybe something like from 1 to verse 1 to 9, 10, 11. I never knew it was 176. I can't even imagine. So she began to recite the memory verse 1. Up to verse 100. I was shocked. She get to verse 176. I asked her, we are in the same house. Where did you learn all these things? He said, anytime she back from school, she gave herself a task that before eating or any other thing, she will learn 5 verses in a day. She'll be doing all this without my notice, because she do come back from school before me. So because I said the reason why she even take that lengthy time is because of her academic performance. Sometimes she do represent her school in competition and other things. Wow. That was the reason she took up to 8 months before getting to the end of that thing. Honestly, I can't lie to you. I was marveled. I was shocked. And that is where we are today.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is so inspiring. Okay, now she went to the mother. The mother has confirmed, like the young lady told us a moment ago, that it wasn't a dream that she was told. You heard her mother now confirming that she actually came to her to tell her that she had a dream and she was asked to recite that Psalm 119. And then she now told you now decided to give her a Bible. Why did you decide to give her the Bible?
The reason of giving her the Bible was not known to me, that she wanted to recite Psalm 119. But she was insisted that you want a new Bible. As a parent, I have to.
Okay. Vis-a-vis the present trend of children going to their parents to ask for Android phones, iPhones, iPads, and all that, if she had come to you to ask for any of this, would you have given to her the same way you gave her the Bible?
No.
Why?
Because of her age.
Okay.
The way we are trained in my family, when we are in secondary school, we don't have phone.
Really?
Yes.
That was your time?
Yes.
It's a different time and age now.
I know I have a dictionary at home. If there is any homework or the meaning of it they want to learn, they should get it from dictionary instead of using the phone.
So in your own family now, it's a matter of tradition that you will not until you are out of secondary school before you have all these present gadgets. So it's a matter of tradition, and you decide to keep it as a principle that you also train your children that way because you were trained that way. Did that help you in any way, positive or something? Did you not feel like you were missing out in some of the things, not having Android phone at a particular age, especially when people younger than you should be having them during your own time, not too far ago?
Yes, I didn't feel bad because my parents know what is good for me.
Okay. So for you,
Yes,
you just
it's not
followed
a matter
because-
of, it's not a tradition. But what I learned from my parents is still helping me up to today, which I have to apply it in my own family.
Okay. Okay. So because it worked for you,
Yes.
you decide to also inculcate it in your children. That's a good thing. I asked that question because I want to establish the fact that parenting, proper parenting, good parenting is very important in the family setting right now. You hardly have people, especially referring to their own parents, especially when they are also themselves parents now, as the case may be. So this is like something that happened from Ochanya's grandparents now to her own parents, and the parents is also inculcating it in her at the moment, and it's working out. Of birth, you knew she is a miracle child.
Yes.
You enlighten us a little about this. How did you get to that point where you think she's a miracle child?
As a young mother, I don't have experience.
Is all those kind of signs? As she's growing up now.
As she's growing up, she has a book that she wrote.
She's written a book already.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
She's done with the book. She gave me the books. I should go through it.
Wow.
But because of my work, class, that things, I've not really have time to check.
Well, that's great. Ochenya, what is the title of the book?
The Miracle Child.
The Miracle Child. Okay, brief us a bit about it. What are the content? What did you talk about?
It was about a girl named Sharon. There were delays in her birth, but God used her in different occasions. In school, in church, in her class, at home, and everywhere she attended.
That's the summary of
Yes.
the book.
Yes.
Wow. Interesting. Interesting. All right. I'm even surprised to hear now that she has already written a book at 12. She already have a book. Oh my God. For me, it's something we need to echo and re-echo for older children to hear and watch this program, and also emulate Ochanya's footpath and all that. All right. Ochanya is a young lady in school. Yeah, she's in JSS2. As she's continuing with her education, she got this inspiration or instruction from the divine, or divine, as I may say, divine. Yes, that's the real word. And then she went on to say Psalm 119 by heart. And as we're getting this information now, she's also written a book. As you're watching this or you're listening, if you feel inspired in any way at all to bless the life of this young lady, Uja Stephanie Ochanya, please, our information is on the screen. You will reach out to Catholic Television of Nigeria. I mean, that's what we do here. We get these young people, especially those ones on the street, get them off the street and get people like Ochanya, do not on the street, but are doing something exceptional, something amazing, especially in a world. You hardly find children her age, especially this time and era, doing this kind of thing. And this is the kind of thing we like to encourage for children to do, in addition to getting tech knowledge and the rest of that. So if you feel inspired, led, or feel in your heart that you should do something, please use the information on your screen. The Catholic Television will do well to also reach out to her. All right, Mommy Ochanya, before we leave now, you have promised that you will look into that book.
Yes.
During the holidays. The reason for which you do that is to help proofread it, as the case may be.
Yes.
And as a teacher, you will also look out for corrections to be done,
Yes.
sentences and all that. I'm also available. I am an author too.
Okay.
I've written a couple of books myself. You can feel free to reach out to me should you get too busy that you'll not be able to do that proofreading in a short time, please do well to reach out to me, and I promise to also proofread it and also give my input as much as I can. All right, before we go, what would you like to say to other parents?
I want to advise and suggest to other parents, be close to your children. Whether they are saying bad or good, listen to them attentively. Sometimes call them, find out their need, what they want, what they need, both financial, spiritual. Pray together with them. Each single day, declare good things to their lives. And you see it manifesting.
Wow. Wow. You've heard it all from Ochanaya's mommy's mouth. As the case may be, those are principles, things that she did as a parent, and they worked for her. I mean, at age 12, if your child is not wayward, he's not hooked on anything, I mean, you have a whole lot to thank God for. She's shared with us what principles that she used, and they're working for her. I will also add my voice by saying that parents out there, listen to her, because she's speaking from experience. She's done this and it's working for her. You too can emulate and also do, and it will work for you. And there you have it. As interesting, as inspiring as this story is, every good thing must come to an end. So let me, on this note, draw the curtain for today, drop the anchor until we meet again with another inspiring, educative, and entertaining story of true life experiences on Echo from the stable of Catholic Television of Nigeria. I remain your anchor, Nelly Frank, and we will see again. Bye.